Chapter 7. Children. For a girl, marriage is the most important thing in life because it is she who continues the lineage, and the threads are in her hands. An infertile woman did not become so by herself, and it is not her fault, it is only that her husband's lineage or her own lineage does not wish to accept their children. Who mates with whom is decided by their families, not by me, but by their lineages. The long absence of children indicates marital or family reproaches. Who reproached whom, I do not know, but someone has done something wrong. Strive for happiness through good behavior and kindness. Do not despair if you do not marry or find a couple quickly, there will come a time when your couple will meet you, unless it is otherwise destined by God. Because some people have their couples assigned in the heavens. I say, some have their couples in the heavens. No one else can marry them except those from the heavens. Before that, no one will be able to marry them. If a girl's virginity remains untainted, I reward her by introducing her to the royal courts. A tainted virginity will be washed away by tears, and then I too will introduce her to the royal courts, for princesses come to their kings for a heavenly wedding feast. Those who conceived a child with them, but refuse to help, are recovering in a foul space, and whether they come out or not, I don't know. A woman's true essence lies in her children, her character, and her ability to bear children. But the one who had no help will have the highest status. Children with pleasant appearances are born to those with a correct lineage. Children born with deformities, who got stuck on their way out of the womb, should not hold grudges against their family. This is a punishment that reminds them they did not immediately repent for their actions. The grudge was not forgiven, and it passed on to the children. Those who go ahead with their head will succeed, those who use their feet will run, and those who move sideways will crawl, but Caesar's children find their support. For Caesar's children, the light on the path is too bright. Children born near a house will live long, while those born in pain will be forgiven. Those who do not cry will eventually cry, and those who sleep will later be unable to close their eyes. In one case, it will be different, in another, the opposite will happen. Do not envy others' children, for your own is the most beautiful. The destiny is such that firstborn children are the most unfortunate, secondborn the simplest, thirdborn the most serious, fourthborn the most loved, fifthborn the harshest, sixthborn the loneliest, seventhborn the most gifted, eighthborn the most beautiful, ninthborn will live to old age with their parents, tenthborn will go abroad, and the rest have no other purpose. Children from families with more than 10 children are completely free, they have their own lineages, their threads are strong, and I grant them new time. Therefore, I say, be fruitful and multiply. But do not carry the sins of your grandfathers with you, for you will only make things worse for yourself later. Those who are destined to live will not die, and those destined to die should not resist, for soon they will have another path. Health and strength are separate gifts with which God rewards his children. With a sweet face and pleasant manners, God rewards the wise and enlightened. A separate account goes to criminals, for whom God opens an account and accuses them of the fact that the criminal is the only criminal in his family, and awaits him work in prison, and a lonely existence after. I will now tell you how they become criminals and who they are. A person's name begins to sound when they turn 4 years old. The disturbance of the name and vibrations creates a split and rejection. The name of a person should be chosen through a consultation with God. God calls all people by sound. Simple names resonate in harmony, and simple names do not drown out vibrations, they match the person. A name that creates a poor contrast should not be considered a name. Names are sought in calendars and assigned, but these are not the right names. Every person has their own note, which rings in their voice when the infant cries, and the child sings their name, claiming it as their own. Listen to how a child cries, it is their name that resonates with their cry. For example, if he cries, Miitia, he is Dmitri, and if he cries, Saashe, he is Alexander. Daughters should be given different names so that they do not all have the same one. An openly provocative name will repel, but a rare and beautiful one will attract. Every girl should consider her name to be the most beautiful. If it is so, she will carry that name and its sound will be heard by all, and she will be perceived by those who are most suited to her. When someone is named Christopher, it does not mean he will suffer on the cross, but his name is meant to serve one purpose, and he will not stray from that path. If someone is named Timothy, it will take a whole life for that person to determine his true essence. Timothys only mature into adulthood with wisdom as they grow older. Alexanders are scattered across the world, and there is no inherent connection between the name and the person, because in the past the name was given separately, and when it is shared by many, the meaning and sound of the name lose their original sense. Ideally, a full name should carry a sound often perceived as a growl. The growl is masculine, and the moan is feminine. It is easy to guess names by looking at a child's face. It makes no sense to look for identical names with the same meaning, because differences accumulate through many factors, such as age, plan, and probability, which influence the name. In ancient times, it was understood from names which animal a person should be called after. From that animal, a whirlwind would depart, attaching itself to the person named after that animal. The quality that a person would possess was derived from the characteristics of that animal, known to people. When the whirlwind came from the secret place where a person was called, that place would send forth a whirlwind and bring its condition to the person. Blonde hair promises spring maturity, black hair foretells belated love, yellow hair indicates great strength, brown hair indicates a desire for happiness, and ashen hair indicates a cruel temperament. The same with the eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes, the purity of a spring stream, black with black, a race full of passions, brown with brown, the desire for a full life, yellow with gray eyes, great achievements, ashy with steel, conquests. One child means pride, 2 children bring quarrels, 3 children bring lies, 4 children mean the first is always right, 5 children offer a wide road for all, 6 children signify growing strength, 7 children make the last the head of the family, 8 children signify a turning of the family thread, the unraveling of karmic knots, and the thread of the eldest of Meru intertwining with the thread of the 7th and 8th. 9 children bring development and growth in everything. Around the children, 10 children represent a flame that burns family curses, purifying all the children, 11 children are the support of angels, 12 children mark the disciples reaching the teacher, 13 children signify the unique path of each individual, 14 children bring the joy of recognition, 15 children herald a bright future and the Areopagus, 16 children mark control over a great destiny, 17 children bring frequent illnesses, 18 children signal the depletion of the family line, 19 children bring the return of karmic tasks, 20 children take away strength. When many children are born, new threads descend into the family, bringing messages that describe what each child will become. While the child is alone, his path is built like this: a second appears, the path of the second is described differently, and the path of the first changes. The third child comes and changes the paths of all the previous children. Each new child develops new directions for the lineage. When the family is large, numerous new opportunities open up. If one does not have the strength to carry the entire burden, then it can be divided among everyone, and sometimes one agrees to carry it for everyone, and then different opportunities come to new children. When a child has chosen their path, and another is born, if the first child's path was successful, they may delay their own success to elevate themselves while holding the other back. When a third arrives, the first 2 may take everything for themselves or give it all away. The lineage from which a child receives the thread determines what they will be like in this struggle for the power of the lineage. When similarity is determined by different parents, then it is good, because it is clear that children will be nourished from different threads, and when several children are drawn from a strong lineage and then strengthened by their own strength, then it is good, because the strength strengthens and supports. Where infirmity, ill health, illness or debt remains, in those families there should be a ban on children. If such a ban is placed on quantity, then there is no right to have a lot, because the parent is responsible for the health and destiny of the descendants.